Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video from me. I absolutely love learning. I love research, I love education, and something that I don't think video game content creators talk about is courses. Now, I know this isn't going to be an interesting video for some of you, so like I say, I absolutely love education. If I could, I would stay in education for the rest of my life. I love it. One area of education that is just not spoken about enough, I think, is the area of video gaming. There are many, many courses you can take regarding video games. I'm going to talk about a few that I've personally taken, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background on myself first so you can see where I'm coming from. So I left school and I went to college and studied music for 3 years, and as part of my music degree, I studied some video game music. I absolutely love video game soundtracks. I think they are some of the best forms of music that we have, actually. It was really, really interesting to learn the mechanics of what goes into making video game music because it's a completely different genre to anything else. It really is. And then I went on to university. Again, I studied music for 3 years, I believe. I can't even remember now, it's been that long ago. And again, I did some video game stuff for part of my music degree. And finally, I did a master's degree in medieval history, actually, so that's got nothing to do with this topic. But something I love is online courses. So you might not tell from these videos, but I'm quite an introverted person. I struggle with mental health issues and things like that. So it's very, very difficult for me at times to leave the house. So going to university and things like that, I absolutely love. But sometimes it is difficult for me to leave the house, so that is where online courses come into play because you can do them in the comfort of your own home. So I'm going to talk briefly about a few of the video game courses that I've done. And it's just a nice little video to talk about that there is way more to video games than playing them. There's way more to video games than collecting them. And the work that goes into a video game, sometimes I don't think we appreciate that. You know, in this fast-paced world, we get the newest games, we play them, we move on to the next. There's a lot of people who are sort of graphical snobs, I guess. I know that's not the right wording, but I have never been a graphics sort of snob myself. I still love the old PlayStation 2 graphics. But there are people who always strive for bigger and better in the video gaming industry, in the world that they want to surround themselves in. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that sometimes we need to take a step back and really think about what goes into these incredible games that we all love. So I have a book here of all the courses I've ever taken, actually. I will tell you, in terms of online courses, I have taken over 40. So that should show you how much I love education, research and learning. Yeah, it's becoming a little bit of a problem. But no, I will not talk to you about every single course I've ever taken. I will, of course, keep it video game related. So first up, I want to talk about my favourite online course providers, and that is FutureLearn. I absolutely love FutureLearn. The good thing about FutureLearn is that you can take a course for completely free. You do not have to pay for it. So if you want to have a certificate, then you do have to pay for it. But if you're just doing it as a hobby, you don't really want the certification that comes with it, you can do these courses for free. Comes as no surprise that the first online course I ever took in relation to video games is called Game Design and Development, a bit-by-bit history of video game music. So yeah, no surprise, music. I don't know if these courses are still on FutureLearn. I do know that there are video game related courses on there if you wanted to go and check it out, if it's something you're interested in. So that one, again, all to do with video game music, of course. Like I said, I've spoken about that before, but the technical side of video game music is just... it's really, really, really interesting. The next one I did was also part of the Games Design and Development set of courses, because there is a set of them, and that was Game Design and Development, Video Game Character Design. Now this, again, is something that I am super, super interested in because I don't really have the technical ability to be able to create a video game. Character development, video game characters, I absolutely love. I love the complexity of certain video game characters, and I just love the thought that goes into it. I love world building. It was an amazing course to just look at what goes into character design, both physically, what the character physically looks like, the 3D model and whatnot, and also the writing side of it, the development side of, would this character do this thing? What are their traits? That's actually the only two courses that I've done on FutureLearn in terms of video games. So we'll move on to another provider of courses. Then we move on to another course provider, which is Skillshare. And this one's very interesting because it's not actually about the video games themselves. I did a course on games, conventions, and conferences. So most of us here, I believe, have been to some form of Comic-Con, gaming market, that kind of thing. This course was all about video game conventions. Of course, Comic-Con started as comic books. That's why it's called a Comic-Con. But it has evolved and adapted over the years to include a lot of pop culture stuff, including video games and gaming. I have never been to a gaming market in particular, something that's focused on video games. I've just been to more generalised Comic-Cons, we shall say. But I would love to go to a gaming market in the future. Yes, this course was all about game conventions and how you sort of model that, I guess. So if you wanted to start your own gaming convention, how would you go about that? And the final video game course I have to talk about is from another online course provider, Zenva Academy, and that was Phaser 101 Introduction to Game Development, which I found very, very interesting. Like I said, I don't think that I have the technical ability to create a game, but I do love learning what goes on in that process. I just thought that this might be useful and something for you to consider if you were wondering how to go about researching more if to do with video games. You know, if you are someone who loves learning and loves education, this might be the route for you. And it might not be. You might just be content to collect games, to enjoy playing games, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just think for me, it would be hard for me to engage with something without knowing what goes on to make that, and sometimes that can break the illusion. I understand that. Sometimes you just want to immerse yourself completely in this fantasy world, which I absolutely do, but I also think that it's important to recognise what goes into making these kind of games and the contribution from so many different teams, so many different people. I do love melding my favourite passions and, of course, reading, learning, history, video games, music. I have to find a way to sort of smush them all together. So thank you very much for watching. I know this is a very, very random video on a very random topic. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever considered studying video games? Have you studied video games? Have you done a course on video games? Is it your degree? Let me know. Let's talk about it. And until next time, bye, Embers.